Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpatam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Bhatarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmatacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheta Vibhagini Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Mukaro Anthakaro Vairukarastannivartakaha Anthakara Nirodhitvad Gururitya Vidhiyate Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidya Acharyaya Nachiketase Namaha. So, Lord Yama is giving the complete secrets regarding the death and birth and also the real fact behind each and every individual life form. We call in Sanskrit Jiva. So, in that process, he's explaining how to resolve, how to reach, how to accomplish, which is not known for an ordinary person in his day-to-day life. Even though the injustice, but everybody miss that. They can't realize or recognize that the consciousness, which is the base of entire creation and which is also not subject to any death and birth. So he wants to take the person from the known to the unknown. In the tradition, we have different types of systems, theories to draw the mind or the intellect of the listener very slowly from the known to the unknown. We call it in Sanskrit prakriya, panchakarma viveka prakriya, shakha chandra nyaya prakriya, panchakosha viveka prakriya. Analyzing the 5 sheets of the human body, analyzing the 5 elements which are the constitution of each and everything in the world, analyzing or slowly withdrawing from one to the another by pointing which is more subtle than the gross. This prakriya, this process, drawing the attention of the listener from the known to the unknown and reaching what is the subtlest thing in the world, which might be, happily we can conclude, that is myself. The individual being is the subtlest thing in the world. That consciousness, in other words, Atman, in other words, the individual living being, is the subtlest thing in the world. In order to reach the subtlest thing, we start our journey from the gross to the subtle, from the subtle to the subtler, from the subtler to the subtlest. Here, Lord Death, giving a beautiful way of presentation to Nachiketas. From the gross thing, withdraw your senses or make your senses more subtle and see something which is beyond that. That we already covered in the last section. We are going to see again the same verse which is connected to the next verse also. I will read that what Lord told to Nachiketas, drawing the attention from the known to the unknown, from the gross to the subtle, by slowly taking the intellect of the listener, what he sees right in front of him, from there towards something which he misses in his life, from there again going beyond what he's already missing, slowly, step by step, the individual buddhi, the intellect of the person, is being drawn toward the subtlest thing, what we call the pure consciousness, Brahman, Atma. So I will read the verse once again, and I will give more clarity through the explanation what Adi Shankara has given. Verse 10 in the Kaṭha Upaniṣad, third session. Yes. First chapter, third session, 10th verse. Indriyebhyah parahyarthaha artebhyascha param manaha manasastu para buddhihi buddhiratma mahan paraha. Once more I will read. Indriyebhyah parahyarthaha artebhyascha param manaha manasastu para buddhihi buddhiratma mahan paraha. Very beautiful verse. Indriyebhyaha parahi artha. The central logic of this verse is this: superiority is graded in accordance with the subtler nature of things. From the gross towards the subtle. This is the logic of these two verses. As an individual, I am familiar with the gross things, the objects. From the gross things, I am slowly, the Lord Yama is slowly guiding me as a listener towards the subtle thing. Slowly. So he says, Indriyebhyaha. Senses. What are the senses? The organ of listening, Karnendriyam, organ of vision, Nayanendriyam, organ of sense of smell, Granendriyam, organ of speech and taste, Rasanendriyam, organ of touching skin, Togindriyam. These are the major five senses which we use to interact the world. These five senses should play a crucial role in order to know what is this world and creation. So senses goes to different objects in the different fields, and they bring the report, the data towards the mind. But senses are effect, product of Sukshma Panchabhutaha, five subtle elements. Always the effect or the product is inferior towards its cause. Cause is always superior to a product. So senses are the product of five elements which are subtle. What are they? We know that space, subtle space, what we see the space is not subtle, it is gross. Subtle. Space, akasham in Sanskrit. The vayu, the vital force, air, subtler, which is subtle. Agni, the fire, which is another element, which is in the form of very, very subtle. Jalam, water, which is also form. The water which we perceive in our daily life is gross water. We are talking about the subtle form of this each and every element. And the earth, Gantharupini. The gross earth, what we perceive is not we are talking about. The five elements, when the entire creation is yet to begin. Remember, when I say creation, five elements, everything, it's a formal way of interaction in the teaching. Keep the idea in the mind. Everything is superimposed on a thing called Atman or consciousness. Whether it is five elements, whether it is subtle, everything. It's all for the sake of understanding. We say a formal way of five elements, subtle, this, that, just for the sake of understanding. In order to take the error, what we call superimposition, we are studying and we will be taking away the superimposition, and the real thing will be revealed in the process. Here, Lord Yama make Nachiketas to withdraw from the senses by pointing the cause of the senses. I already told you, cause is the superior towards the effect or product. So, five subtle elements are the cause of our five senses. And the Lord Death says to Nachiketas as a teaching, may you understand, senses are gross. They are being played by or made by the five subtle elements and they are superior, may you give attention towards the cause of these senses. That is why Indian traditional prayers always include all these five elements in their daily prayers. You know why? When we pray to these five elements daily, Akasham, Vayu, Agni, Jalam, Prithivi, or other words, space, air, fire, water, and the earth. These five things make each and every object in the world. Everything is a composite or a constitution of these five elements. Even our organs are constitution of these five elements. When we pray towards these five elements, our defects which are there in our sense organs are being taken care of through this prayer. The blessings from these five elements are being assured in order to take care of our defects or the diseases. Of course, this body is a constitution of five elements. We know that body has almost 78 to 82% of water. That is why, according to the lunar eras, our emotions will spills out. Sometimes the people who are psycho get a lot of issues. Why? Water is always connected with the moon. That is why we have tide in some time in the ocean. Similarly, there will be some increase of emotion, some decrease of emotion going and coming, due to the lunar eras. Sometimes in full moon day, one person can't sleep. Some issues may come, emotions towards the family matters, or the family friends, or boyfriend, girlfriend, or the debt. All the things will put a fire inside your mind, all these thoughts. Why? The era of the moon is connected with the water, and the water is the majority element in one's body. So there will be always some fluctuations according to the lunar eras. That is why, according to the Indian culture, the crescent, the moon is being placed on the head of Lord Shiva. Why? That is a representation that when you keep the mind towards the Lord or in the Lord, any defect will not be affected, or any defect will not make you bother. That is the representation of keeping the moon in the head of Lord Shiva. Let it be there. These are all apart from the teaching. So, five elements are being put together in order to form a human body. I told you, almost 78 to 82% of the body is filled with water. Fire, our acids which digest our food. We feel the heat inside the body. That things are fire of the fire element. Of course, vital force is coming and going, and it's always present in our body. Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. According to the movement and the motion and the action of the vital force in our body, they have different names. And they have also sub-names also. Krigala, Kurma, Devadatta, Naga, Dhananjaya. So, Prana, Apana are the main actions done by the vital force. Apart from that, there are some other actions also there. And according to the movements, the vital force have different names. And this is also there in our body, almost 7 to 8%. Water is there, fire is there, and Vayu is there, the vital force is there. Of course, the minerals and the vitamins which are in our bodies will be represented or will constitute the earth element. And the space, we occupy in a particular space in this creation, correct? This much space we take, and there is a space in the stomach. All these are Akasha Tattva. I just want to tell you to understand how much we are connected with the 5 elements, So, 5 elements are the major thing, they play the crucial role in the creation. Their composite, their constitution is each and every object what we perceive in this world. So, in the subtle form, they are the cause of 5 senses of our human body. So, Lord Death revealed the secret that senses are not the glorious things in the world. May you give attention towards the cause, which is the main things playing behind each and every sense. Which are the main things playing behind each and every sense? They are the cause of our senses. So may you withdraw your mind from the senses towards the subtle form of the 5 elements, what we call here in Shloka, Arthaha. Arthaha means Panchamaha Bhutaha. 5 elements. Indriyebhyaha. Indriyebhyaha means beyond the senses. The subtle form of objects that is 5 elements are more superior compared to the senses. That is the first line. Then the second line, Artebhyascha Param Manaha. The gross thing which we saw, the senses, which is experienced by each and every individual, that gross thing is known to me, but from that known thing, Lord Yama make us to know, or towards the subtle thing, he draw the attention of the individual through this verse. Then, again, because the cause is the subtler and more pervasive than the effect, mind is superior to the gross object. The elements, when they are subtle, they are superior to our organs. But the same elements, which will constitute each and every object. And when I perceive, they become gross to me. And when we compare with that elements which are in the form of objects, mind is superior towards that objects which are visible to me. Because gross matter is always inferior towards the subtle. So mind is more subtle because mind is made of 5 subtle elements, and the objects which are seen is gross form of 5 elements. So gross is always inferior and the subtle is always superior. So senses, compared to senses, the 5 subtle elements are more superior. But when they come to the next, when they evolve into objects, and those gross forms are called objects in the creation, like a pot, flower, mountain, river, birds, animals, human body, etc., etc. All are gross objects. Compared to them, mind is superior. That mind being superior to them, may you withdraw your idea from the gross from the senses towards the elements, which are the cause of the 5 organs. From there again you withdraw your idea towards the mind. Mind is superior to the elements and also superior to the senses. This is the second verse. Artebhyascha param manah. Param means superior, greater. Then manasastu para buddhihi. But don't stop there, oh Nachiketas. Lord Yama says, even though mind is superior to the 5 elements which are in the form of objects, there is somebody who is superior to the mind. Who is that? Intellect. Sometimes this intellect in our scriptures also called mahar. Intellect is more subtler. And decision matters in our life, correct? Not the thoughts. Mind is an instrument to think different ideas which are collected through the senses. The data are being put into the mind. And after that, who will decide what to do, which to do? For example, while I am walking through the road, I see a lot of people. Mind is collecting everybody's form and giving to me. Some women are there, some men are there, dogs are there, cows are there, the vendor is there, vegetables are there, lot of things are there in front of all the things the mind will put. But I have a special decision. I am going to meet somebody. And in the way, even though the mind put everybody's vision inside, the senses will put all the vision inside the mind. But I saw somebody to whom I have to talk right in front of me. All other things can stay apart. Now the decision matters, and I am here to talk with you. I came to see you. There is a thing to do, like, by you, all these things. So Decision is always superior than the options. Always. Mind means option because it collects every ideas. But intellect, it takes decision. Then intellect is superior than mind. And intellect, the more we are clear about what we have to do in this life. Today, what I have to do. When everything is already confirmed and decided, there is no option. Somebody comes to you. Today, we will go for an outing. And we will go to the forest, or we will go to somewhere to in the beach, or whatever it may be. But you have an idea. So 3 o'clock, I should sit in the class because it is relevant in my life. Beach and forest can stay for tomorrow. But the teaching directly from a traditional teacher is a rare thing to happen in one's life. So morning, even though the ideas already given by my neighbor or my friend to go out for a forest or beach, I have a decision that today is Sunday, have a very good food, have a very good rest, see some TV. If football match is going on or cricket match is going on, see something and see the previous shlokan what we have studied in the last class and be ready at 3 o'clock to listen that. After that, we can go out. That decision is already there. When we have that decision, whoever comes to a life and put some ideas, your decision matters. Decision is always superior than the ideas and thoughts that is mind. So here also it is told, Manasastu para buddhihi. Mind is superior, intellect is superior to mind. Of course, intellect is very much near to the consciousness, which is the subtlest thing in the world. And there is another person who is more subtler than the intellect. Lord says, once you understand the cause of the grasping, you will have an idea to clinch on that. At the same time, Lord says that go beyond that. You will find more things behind that. So from the organs towards the 5 elements, from the 5 subtle elements towards the mind, which is more subtler, from the mind towards the intellect, from the intellect, he says, Buddhehe Atma Mahan Paraha. Here the word Atma should be understood as the first thing which came out of the creation. It has a particular name called Hiranyagarbha, cosmic intelligence. Literally, if I translate, the sum total of all individual souls. You know, when the creation begins, all the things, when you make, in South India, there is a dish called idli. In Indian breakfast, very, very nice food. Before making to 15 or 20 idli, you create a batter, pasta batter. That sum total, idli is not available in the batter. You are going to cook the idli. That whole batter is ready now after a few processes. The creation is yet to begin. This batter is Hiranyagarbha. Literally, I have given an example. You don't go along with the example. Before a creation, or when you're making a bun or a bread, the whole pasta is with you. That is called Hiranyagarbha. Now, the sum total of the bread is inside this batter or this pasta, which is ready, which is fermented, which is ready to cook. Everything is ready. That is called Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is the cause of intellect, mind, senses. May one know, even though the advice or the instruction given by the Lord Yama is to Nachiketa, but that blessed thing became a traditional teaching for us in our tradition. So Lord Yama is directly speaking to me, giving the teachings. May one draw the attention from the senses towards the subtle elements. From there, may one draw the attention towards the mind. Again, may one draw the attention from the mind towards the intellect. And after knowing the importance of intellect, may one draw the attention of the cause of the intellect, which is called Hiranyagarbha, or we can say the sum total of individual. It's around just for the sake of understanding one superimposition is being explained in different ways. May one understand that one superimposition, in order to get the clarification and the clarity, we are making a systematic way of studying. Here, from the intellect, Lord Death is giving more ideas that there is something beyond the intellect, which we call Hiranyagarbha, the sum total of the whole individual soul. So whenever you listen a word called Hiranyagarbha, means may you remember the idli batter or the bread pasta, which is going to become variety of breads or different idlis. Or it can be dough of the roti, chapati, that sum total is called Hiranyagarbha. Again, now we have to see the new verse which is connected with this verse, the 11th verse, which is the continuation of the previous verse. 10th, I will read and I will give the explanation. Mahataf paramam vyaktam avyaktat purushaf paraha purushat na param kinchit sa kashtha sa paragatihi. Once more I will read. Mahataf paramam vyaktam avyaktat purushaf paraha purushat na param kinchit sa kashtha sa paragatihi. Here see, the intellect is being pronounced or told by the Lord that Mahat. Again, not the intellect, the Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is also in our tradition called as Mahat. Behind this Mahat, there is something more subtler, which is the cause. For example, the dough is made of flour, correct? In the flour, you cannot see the dough, which is fermented, which is added yeast or everything. Just you see flour. So, Lord Death says, what comes in front of you as Hiranyagarbha, behind Hiranyagarbha, there is an unmanifested form which is the cause for the Hiranyagarbha. That is the superior to Hiranyagarbha. It has various names. This Avyakta is an unmanifested form. Before the creation, that unmanifested form is the superior thing than the manifested form. You know, an engineer wants to build a house or a flat or any construction. The plan is already in the unmanifested form in the engineer's mind. He draw the plan in a paper and it becomes manifested form. But than the manifested form, the unmanifested form is superior. The idea which came from the engineer's mind is superior to the idea which is right in front of you in a paper. Similarly, it has different name. Unmanifested form have, here it is told avyaktam. In some other place, it is called avyakritam. It can tell as pradhana. It can also call maya. All these names will suit for this avyakritam. The idea which is not manifested right now, but it is there inside your mind, and that idea is yet to manifest. That is called avyaktam. It is also called in tradition maya, the mysterious power of Atman or Brahman. Pradhana in some places in Bhagavad Gita. Avyaktam, Lord Yama told here. And also it is called Avyakritam. All these ideas, all these words are synonymous to that. So, superior to Hiranyagarbha, the manifested form is inferior to the superior unmanifested form. Mahatam Paramavyaktam. Avyaktad Purusha Paraha. Now we reach the subtlest thing. But there is somebody who is in the form of unmanifested also, but it is there also. Most of the people miss this consciousness because it is in the unmanifested form. Unmanifested thing doesn't mean that it is a non-entity. In order to have a superimposition, there should be something right in front of me, correct? Lord Adi Shankara, in his Sutra Bhashya commentary, in the beginning of the commentary of Brahma Sutra, the big literature, he says one single sentence, Puro vastu vishayani eva adhyasa. In order to have a superimposition, there is a rule. There should be something right in front of you. Without something right in front of you, there is no superimposition. Similarly, in order to take a wrong notion that I am this body, there should be something beyond the body, which is not known. That can be told as unmanifested form. That's all. Unmanifested doesn't mean that it's a non-entity. We cannot say that. People miss because they are not informed about the Brahman. So here it says, Avyakta. The potential to listen means there is something to show the power to listen. This earlobe is not the organ. Somebody is there who have the potential to listen. Somebody is there who have the potential to see. These flesh eyes are not the indriyas. Somebody who is behind have the potential to see, to listen, to speak. That potential comes from word. This has been told here, avyakta, behind the unmanifested, purushaha, a beautiful name for the consciousness. Purushaha means Purau Ushadi idi Purushaha. One who resides in the body. It's called Purushaha. Purishete idi Purushaha. A building which has 9 entrance, which has 9 way of outlets. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This building is being owned by whom? That is called Purushaha. Purishete, one who resides, one who lay down in the building, is called Purushaha. He is the subtlest thing behind all these things. Unmanifested Maya is the power of Atman. In order to create the creation, there should be some power. In order to happen a superimposition, there should be a continuous flow of thoughts. Thinking only belongs to a conscious entity. An inner thing called think. So, in order to have a superimposition, the person should be conscious. That conscious entity, himself or herself, non-identified, non-recognized, so that a superimposition happened. This superimposition is being taken away from the gross towards the subtle, from the subtle towards the subtler, from the subtler towards the subtlest, and ultimate thing is being pinpointed by Lord Death, withdrawing the senses towards the cause of the senses. Similarly, from there to another thing, like that, he point out all these things are nothing but superimposition on this ultimate consciousness, which is being introduced in the word called Purushaha, Paraha. This Purushaha is the ultimate goal. Paraha means the goal, the topmost thing, the ultimate thing. One should have the priority while living in the world, that I should recognize myself. Without recognizing myself, I recognize my wife, I recognize my children, I recognize my car, I recognize my bank account, I recognize my family members, but I don't know who am I. I play this drama my entire life. Without recognizing myself, who am I? But I play the drama without not knowing my role and who am I. What is my goal? How I can reach my goal? So Lord Yama presented a beautiful way that Purushat na param kinchit, beyond that nothing exists. That is the meaning. Very beautiful. Purushat na param kinchit. Beyond that ultimate Purushaha, that consciousness, nothing remains, nothing to go beyond that. Even if we analyze any object in the world, we will come to last to the molecules. When we analyze the molecules, we will end up in atom. When we analyze the atom, we will end up in particles. When we analyze the particles, the scientists say there is something. We cannot go beyond that. That is what is told here. Consciousness remains. We cannot go beyond that. We already told before years. Our traditional teachers told everything is nothing but consciousness. Molecule will draw your attention towards atom. A molecule means a group of atoms. Atom will, if you divide the atom, you only see particles. At last, we will end up in consciousness. Something is there, we cannot. That is been explained here as Purushaha, and nothing is there beyond that. Sa Kashta, that is the end. The travel is finished, accomplished. You are liberated. Once you understand this is the ultimate thing to be known in this world, I am not human body. I am not connected with anything in the world. These are all just a drama or the movie which I am playing in my life. The original thing is that I am the Purushaha, the consciousness, which is not subject to death and birth. After knowing this, living a disciplined life and living a proper way of living a life to in order to understand the Atma Jnanam, the knowledge of Atman, that is the real life. Sa Kashta, Sa Paragatihi. That is the Paragati. That should be one's highest goal. O Nachiketas. Nothing will go up to this. If you take this being the priority, all other things will be very inferior towards this goal. May one take this should be the goal in one's life, and may one pursue this goal. This is the intention of Lord Death, which we will see little bit regarding this in the next class, and we will go to the new verse in the next class. Now we will continue. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobrahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sugino Bhavantu Kale Varshadu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Choparahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Sarve Bhavantu Suginaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Sato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamata Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om